SEC on CBS is on the road to Jacksonville.
You know it's time to party soon as we cross the bridge. Some folks don't like each other, that's just the way it is. We're talking about them Gators, we're talking about the chomp, we're talking about them dogs walking out to do the stomp. Lace up the boots and come on in, it's where the good times begin. Welcome to the country, welcome to the welcome to the backwoods, this is what it's all about. We made it down from Athens, up from the swamp as well. Might get a little crazy, yeah, you can never tell, but you're welcome, yes, you're welcome. Welcome to the country.
It's time to get the party started. The party being the world's largest outdoor cocktail variety. The scene never disappoints when Georgia and Florida get together. On a sunshiny, warm day at Everbank Stadium, the renewal for the 101st or 102nd time, depending on which school you talk to. And with that, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Jacksonville and the annual border clash between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Gators of Florida. And for the third straight year, Georgia comes in as the #1 team in the country. Well, it's an important one as we take a look at the standings. It always seems to be Georgia alone on top. The top 3 teams all control their own destiny. Florida could put themselves in the driver's seat if they can upset the Dogs. Missouri's got an off week. They play Georgia next week on CBS as part of our doubleheader. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Gary Danielson and Jenny Dell. Partner, got to tell you, I sat out on the iCruiser for about an extra hour today just to soak in the scene. This one's got a different vibe every year.
It's great action, and in here it's such great history. These two great franchises, I mean, great names, great history, great to be a part of. But there's been a lot of memorable moments, but not a lot of memorable games, mostly lopsided games. Hoping for a close one here, at least we are.
Yeah. 5 of the last 6 have been won by the Bulldogs, but the last regular season loss suffered by Georgia was right here 3 years ago. Not just us, not just the Georgia fans, not just the Florida fans, the whole college football world is concerned about Brock Bowers. The Mackey Award winner for Georgia suffered an injury a couple of weeks ago. He underwent ankle surgery, the tightrope variety. They hope that maybe he can come back by the end of the year, or maybe number 19's time at Georgia is over. So the big question is, partner, how do you replace number 19?
Well, you don't replace him with one guy, that's for sure. I mean, he's just too good a football player, maybe playing as good as Brad just told you, as anybody at any position in college football. So obviously it's going to take a group. Let's start first with his replacement, Oscar Depp. He's not caught a lot of passes, just 13, but he's been playing all year, should be receiving more. And then the change of pace. Daijun Edwards, he's smooth, he's shifty. He is the running attack. But when they throw the ball, Ladd McConkey. Can anybody cover this guy one-on-one? Florida's going to have to try to do it. That's the 3 guys they're going to have to replace, if they can, Brock Bowers.
Last year, when the game was over, we talked about quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson goes to the Colts. Stetson Bennett goes to the Rams. And you go, are these 2 teams going to be in trouble quarterback-wise? Hasn't panned out that way.
You know, this is one of the interesting stories in the SEC. The questions coming in, first at Georgia, who could replace Stetson Bennett? Was Carson Beck good enough to lead this team to a championship again? And for the other side, it was almost mocked that Graham Mertz was coming in from Wisconsin.
Right.
But have these 2 guys produced? I don't think, maybe Jaden Daniels, but no one in this league is playing any better than these 2 guys, Carson Beck and Graham Mertz. You know, Carson's got a lot of weapons, and I think, you know, a lot of where's to go. But if Florida's going to go, I think Graham Mertz has to have his A game today.
Half blue and orange, half red and black. Gators and the Dogs coming up.
Right down south.
National championships on both sides in this rivalry between the Gators and the Dogs.
Right down south.
Some say it's the Georgia-Florida game. Some say it's the Florida-Georgia game. 81 degrees and sunshine. Well, I told you, sometimes they say it's 101st meeting, and some say it's 102nd. Florida's not counting 1904. Georgia's won 5 of the last 6 as their Mackey winning All-American tight end Brock Bowers, who made the trip. And as Jenny talked with Kirby Smart before the game, just the fact that he's here raises the confidence level of his team that has to play without him.
And for Florida, seeing him over there without a helmet on raises their confidence. He went 5 for 154. Remember the memorable moments in this game a year ago.
He had that great one where he tipped it to himself down the sideline with a long touchdown. Georgia won the toss and deferred, so they'll kick away. And Florida comes up on a short kick and takes it at the 11-yard line. And bouncing off to the outside, and a nice return out to the 35 by Trevor Etienne. That's a great way to start for the Gators. Last couple of weeks, as Gary said, maybe nobody hotter in the country. 76% completion overall on the season, 71% the last 2 weeks. No interceptions, maybe more importantly. Top percentage of completions in the SEC. Carson Beck is number 2. So he'll line his troops up at the 34-yard line.
They love the jet sweep.
That's Eugene Wilson. They call him Trey, who was in motion. Mertz, plenty of time. Fires down the middle on the run. And it is number 3 all the way to the 39-yard line. Trey Wilson. They'll send Johnson in motion. He pump fakes that way and comes back the other way. And it's going to be a first down to Trey Wilson. So 2 big catches by the freshman early. So another third down. They picked up the last one on 3rd and 9. This is 3rd and 6. Third down defense for Georgia. Best around. Slant. There's a first down. Wilson is going to score. Touchdown, Florida. "25-yard touchdown strike."
The indicator put a man in motion.
2nd down and 6. Back on the roll and fires on the run and throws a strike with a 44, and it's out to Dominic Lovett.
It does look like Shamir James is not 100% though.
Got it just outside the Gator 40-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Play action. Beck comes up, fired on the sideline. Oscar Delp. And there's the replacement. Well, you can't replace Brock Bowers.
Well, he just did. That was a Brock Bowers catch right there.
He's built just like him, too.
Well, and that's exactly how Brock would have caught this one. One-hand layup, and we've seen it all year. And that's the way to make everybody feel good about the tight end position early.
18-yard one-handed grab to the 22. Beck looking for more. Throws complete down to the 5-yard line. It's Ladd McConkey.
How about these 2 quarterbacks starting off this game, okay?
2nd in the country in 3rd down conversions are the Bulldogs. They'd love a 3rd and goal conversion here. Beck fires high and nobody home. Roseney Jack Saint was the only guy that could have got a hand on it, and he said, "Carson, you got to bring it down. I'm only 6'2".
I'm pretty sure Kirby will go field goal here. Doesn't want to get the other team feeling too good about himself.
12 out of 15 on the year. Started a little shaky early in the season, and since has an 8-kick success streak. This will be a 22-yard attempt out of a Carson Beck hole. Woodring from 22 splits the uprights. But Georgia goes the length of the field, much like Florida did, but had to settle for 3. But so far, we've seen trying to replace Brock Bowers some different people, including Oscar Delp. Got him down close. They had to settle for 3. Catch of the year. Nice cut outside by Etienne. He's got a first down. Tyke Smith knocked him out, but not before he picked up first down. In motion. Into the slot. Up top. Little quick draw on it. Opens up. Etienne got to midfield. Might have a first down.
Split zone inside. Beautiful.
And he did get the first down just over midfield. Here's a jet sweep and down and around. And Pearsall is going to go down for a loss.
I'll tell you, that's a 10-yard gain for Florida, because if that ball isn't caught by Pearsall, that thing's going to be back there 10 to 12 yards. Watch this catch by Pearsall. Whoa!
One of his best grabs of the year.
Yes. Well, he's had a good one.
Yeah, he has. That one-handed one was pretty spectacular. And they've been terrible all year, but they picked up 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 6 en route to their touchdown. This is 3rd and 11. Ball was out, and it's way back at the 38-yard line, recovered by the offensive line.
I think it was Jalen Walker that came around the edge that time. Just a speed rush and took it right out of his hand. Going up against Damian George right there. Watch Walker come around the edge right there. Just beats Damian George and takes it right out of his hand.
Great play.
Not a great block by George, but at least he kept his head up and found the football.
Right. That was the good part of the play for number 76.
Yeah. Wasn't thought we might see Amarius Mims, offensive tackle they lost early in the year. I guess it was the Auburn game. He had tightrope surgery as well, but they gave it a try, and they're still sticking with Truss at right tackle.
Kirby Smart says, I'm getting pretty good at this tightrope surgery stuff. I have too many of them. 3rd and 4. Beck with a blitz coming. Zipped it across the middle, complete. First down, and on the run is Ra Thomas. So there's number 5 chipping in, as Gary said, for number 19.
Well, that's the formula right there. That time in your head, you know, get rid of the ball, especially on first down.
Scooby Williams did a nice job staying with Delp, who was part of that double wheel route, really, over that sideline. So wisely for Beck, just toss that one away, live for another down, which is 2nd and 10. Muse in motion. Beck, look out from behind, got the pass away, and he threw a strike. Ladd McConkey, touchdown, Georgia. 41 yards.
Watch how the motion gets Florida out of position as soon as the motion man leaves. Man-to-man here, but when the motion goes, all of a sudden, that's the guy that got him. Look at these, 5 yards outside. Can't make the play. Easy throw, and McConkey looks back and says, I mean, I only got to beat a linebacker with a brace on? That's all I got to do? I can do that.
41-yard touchdown catch. The first touchdown of the year for Ladd McConkey, who missed 4 games with a bad back.
Just a bit of motion got Florida with the wrong outside technique, and they paid for it dearly.
Woodring's extra point has given Georgia the lead. Ladd McConkey, his 100th reception as a Georgia Bulldog. I don't think he'll forget it, because he looks at the Florida defense and says, forget it. Georgia in front. Inducted 4 new members yesterday. Ernest Graham, one of 5 Gators with 3,000+ career rushing yards. Joe Hayden was an All-American cornerback, went on to be an All-Pro in the NFL. Terrence Edwards still owns most of Georgia's receiving records and joins his brother Robert as a Georgia Hall of Famer. And Mark Richt led the Dogs from 2001 to 2015, 145 wins at Georgia, 2nd in team history. And the first time he beat Florida, Mark, that is, well, I remember it was 2004. He was a pretty happy camper. And this kick out of the end zone. And that 2004 Mark Richt victory in this rivalry gets the thumbs up, and here comes his son David. Jumps into his arms. Coach Richt, good to see him with us yesterday. Right now, his Dogs, or Kirby Smart's Dogs, leading Florida 10-7, courtesy of a 66-yard drive in 5 plays. Took him only 1 minute and 14 seconds. And look at the quarterback comparison. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice start.
The only thing that if you're a Gator fan, only 1 touch so far from Pearsall. 1 touch from -1 yard, I believe.
Montrell Johnson on the move. behind Mertz. Graham sets up. Flushed, flag, probably a holding call on Florida, and he throws it out. Incomplete.
That's 2 consecutive plays, the strip sack and now this holding penalty.
They play it safe on the ground, and a good choice and a good run, a great run.
Wow.
Johnson just keeps on going.
That right about 14, 15 yards, wasn't it?
Yep.
So when we get 7 or 8, we feel the pressure here.
Well, he's got what he wanted. Rob's 3rd and 5. Let's see what you got.
Seems a bit longer though. It seems almost 6.5. Oh, nice.
They get it anyway,
Yes.
I think.
It's going to be really close. Kirby's right there with the official,
Khalil
trying
Jackson.
to mark it.
Jackson makes the catch.
Again, good throw, just slightly behind this time. Kirby's trying to make the mark right with the linesman. Here it is, right across. Was his knee down? They may look at this.
Well, we got a long time to look at it, I can tell you that, as we played one. And it's been an exciting first quarter in Jacksonville. Georgia trailed, but came back to take the lead at the end of the first. 10-7 Bulldogs. Hood right now taking a look at this last play. Gene Steratore, Arbor's officials with us too.
Kirby's right on the line right there, ready to make the call, you know. It's pretty funny. He makes the call short, and the linesman makes the call over. The review, nothing definitive so far, right? Knees down there. I think it's really close.
Where they have the ball spotted is a first down. But again, that's the very end of the play. That was on 3rd down and 6. And Gene's still with us. Gene, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, it really, it's such a close play, and I'm listening to Gary talk about how Kirby thinks he's a little bit short, but the ref might think he's a little bit long. That one didn't surprise me too much, guys. I've been in that situation before many times.
Right, Gene, did the linesman on that side of the field make the call? Because he was not in position. He was behind the play and didn't have the. Who made that call in this group
During
here?
the timeout, there was a review. After review, the player was short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th down at the 34-yard line.
Right. The trailing official was at a different angle, and I knew it was really close here. Now the question is, it's inches. Do you go for it? How aggressive you going to be?
He said the 34. If they put it on the 34, it's going to be 4th down and a yard.
Well,
I think it's going to be closer than that.
Yeah, it's that doesn't seem to be a fair spot either. If you're going to spot it, it should be right next to that line.
I'm with you. Length of the football or less.
At the most.
That's what Billy Napier is trying to explain right now, too. If it's 4th down, you better not make it 4th and a yard. You better make it 4th and about 8 inches. So the battle of.
Well, you know, Billy came here to fight.
He's fighting.
Let's see if first, do you try to draw him off sides? Maybe you can get a cheap one. Second is, do you just go sneak?
See, that's 2 feet.
I don't think that is where the ball was.
I don't think so either.
If it's short, it's closer than that.
We have 4th and inches down, but that is maybe 24 inches. And they run up to the line in a hurry.
Yeah.
Try to draw Georgia off sides, now under center. And they snap it in a wildcat. And Etienne is swarmed under by Georgia. They stop it. What a huge play in both directions.
Snapped it right through the quarterback's legs. That was going to be a pass. Etienne is left-handed. Watch him reach up with his left hand. He was attempting to throw this ball. Snapped right between the quarterback. It's going to be a pass, but he cannot get it off.
And Smile London was there to say, And Georgia's going to take over at about the 31-yard line. From the Gator 31-yard line. Dejon Edwards, big hole left side. Edwards down inside the 20, picks up 12.
Near the goal line.
That's only the 7th sack given up by Georgia this year, and that was a coverage sack, and Beck couldn't quite get back to the line. So second down and 11. Edwards to the edge. Edwards to the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. 20 yards for Dejon Edwards.
Hey, to block at the point of attack. Watch it right here. Watch this block on the outside. It's Truss. Watch him turn him in. And boom, now your running back's gone. Dejon Edwards looks shifty. He looks smooth, but he's obviously faster than we think.
Fired up, and Kansas and Oklahoma would drop from the undefeated ranks if that holds up. First 3 possessions, a touchdown, then a punt, then on a 4th and about 2 feet, Georgia stops the Gators. So let's see if they can get back to the gear they were in on their opening drive, where Graham Mertz was perfect, and they took the 7-0 lead. Georgia with a blitz. Mertz running out of time, going down, back at the 15, and it's Dumas Johnson.
Well, this time I think it was Smile Munden comes in and takes out the first blocker right here. And then coming around, watch the block, the running back. Etienne does not get the block, gets just a piece of him. Running back, you got to square up on those blocks that caused the sack. That's it. Crisscross inside linebackers. I mean, Georgia's been doing that for 25 years.
Yep. And they've been struggling for sacks or havoc plays, whatever you want to call it, but they still don't give up a lot of points. And Mertz is in a little bit of trouble again. The ball is out again, and Georgia's got it. Marvin Jones, the linebacker.
Scrambling up in the pocket, you have to have 2 hands on the ball. Mertz just in his right hand, carelessly in the middle of the pocket. This can happen. Comes up, just takes right out of his right hand. I think it was Ingram Dawkins, right? Number 93 that got his hand on it.
Or maybe his own lineman. Let's see. There you go. You got it.
Boy, takes it right out of him. He really had more than just one hand on the ball, to be fair, looking at it the second time. But as he moved up in the pocket, coming around, just one hand. And boy, those guys are good at that. If you go to practice, that's all you see them do now.
Right.
They come around the edge and they go for the football. So just put his finger on it right there.
No doubt. First down at the 11. Kendall Milton.
And remember that stat you threw at me from 2021? They better be careful. They're going to have one just like it right here.
There could be an implosion here in the second quarter for Gator fans.
Let's see if the Gator defense can force a field goal. It seems like it's almost mandatory here. The Gators threw the first punch, but since then.
It's rat-a-tat-tat.
Yep.
4 wideouts. Dylan Bell was in the backfield, and that comes over in a slot, so it's an empty set. From the 9, Carson Beck, quarterback draw. Beck.
Oh, he went the wrong way.
Well, he still got it inside the 5 to the 3.
He did. Effective play, good call. Spread it out. Good time. Watch it. If you don't think he should have gone left on this play right here. What if he just stopped right there? Oh, it just looked like if he went that way, he had it, didn't he? Oh, well.
It's not 2 yards.
No.
They don't go on 4th down very often. They're going here. Dejon Edwards, touchdown, Georgia walking in. Didn't get it the first time. He got it that time.
Well, give it to that inside that offensive line. Cedric Van Pran, Tate Ratledge. They ran right over the veterans that time. And he kind of tiptoes. Oscar Delp gets a great block on that play, pushing his end man right past it. Delp coming through with the one-handed catch, and now with the block.
Right now, Florida, after that great opening drive, needs an answer right here.
Well, they need to throw quick passes. They're not able to hold up very long in the passing game. But number 1 and number 3 got to get the ball again.
Johnson lost of a yard there on the ground.
Ricky Pearsall has 1 catch. Remember the way they started out going to Eugene Wilson? I mean, it was a nice script to start the game, but now they got to figure out a way to get the ball back in those 2 guys' hands.
Zion Loeb made the tackle on Johnson for a loss. And they give it back to him at the line of scrimmage. So second down and 10. They fake the end around. Mercer has to throw it away.
Boy, Marvin Jones right in the middle of that screen. Reading his keys, doing what he's supposed to do. Don't get mesmerized by all the action, the play action. And the outside linebacker forces Florida to throw it away.
Florida, the turnover on downs led to the rushing touchdown by Daijun Edwards. 4 plays later, another score for Daijun from the 2. Now it's 3rd and 10 for a team that has a trouble with 3rd down conversions, and Mertz in trouble again, and he's going down again.
And it was holding on the play as well as Austin Barber, the left tackle, the guy who spoke that Georgia has to go through us. Well, they just did.
Michael Williams went through everybody.
Holding on the offense, number 58. That penalty will be declined. 4th down.
Austin Barber against Michael. Well, look at him hold him, and he still helps, at least gets half the sack on the play from the outside. Gave him a little bulletin board material, right? You know, we play SEC ball like they do. I think we got some guys. 24-0 is great, but they got to come play us.
Well, they are doing so. And speaking of 24, it's 24-7. And they got a punt. Mekhi Muse is back for Georgia after kind of twisting his leg on his last punt return. He waits back inside his own 40. And they got it with a block punt. And did he pick it up in time?
No, I think it landed out of the field for a safety. Yes, and then bounced back in.
Noel Aguero, I think.
It was. That's who I thought I had.
Everything going haywire for the Gators and everything going right for Georgia.
Took out the snap. Good. 1 step.
Beautiful job of laying out.
Yep, that's who it was, Aguero. And it bounces into the white, and I think it came back in. That's what I saw the first time.
I lost it in the shadows, to be honest.
Pretty sure either way they didn't corral it. It's going to be 2 points.
Right, it went right behind the pylon. 20 seconds remaining in the half. The Bulldogs graveyard with Halloween just around the corner. Well, it goes all the way back in the regular season to 3 years ago. And here are the victims. And in the dog graveyard, 24 straight, including Vandy over there on the right 2 weeks ago. They're trying to add to it. The zombie of the Gators might be number 25 if they don't find a way back into this thing.
I always think anytime they put any stat up and it says SEC history, you know it's really good.
It's pretty good, yeah. And it probably involves Alabama as having a longer streak. First down. Kendall Milton, and Milton breaks into the secondary with a stiff arm. He's across the 40-yard line.
Well, here's the play right here that Kentucky was running to hurt this Florida offense. Watch him pull and gash him. This is gap. Running inside, kick out, and just keep going. That is the offense that Kentucky, coming into this game, the scary part Georgia fans felt was if Kentucky can run it that good, won't Georgia?
McConkey now filling in or helping fill in for what Brock Bowers usually gives you. 3 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Milton dropped for a loss.
Run blitz that time. Good call that time on the defense. Defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong, first year.
Daijun Edwards back in at tailback. He has a little conversation with Carson Beck, and McConkey in motion across the field. Here comes a heat in a hurry. Beck throws incomplete. That was intended for Ra Thomas, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Jason Marshall in good phase that time. Forced a perfect throw. Late hit, but he was quickly getting rid of it and kind of tossed down. Nothing real serious.
Georgia leaves their offense out there on 4th down and 5.
Yeah, trying to draw them off sides. I can't imagine. They're just going to say, can we get a cheap 5 yards? Doesn't matter where we punt from.
Beck just keeps his eyes on the sideline as the play clock goes down under 5. And now the timeout. Georgia scored 26 straight points. I know that part.
Yep.
3rd down and 8. Mertz running for his life again, gets it out to Wilson in the flat, but he's just going to get back a little bit past the line of scrimmage unless they call a late hit. And apparently not. So Georgia starting at the 20-yard line. Daijun Edwards just keeps on rolling for 10 or 11 more on a 1st down. Well, much like Vanderbilt 2 weeks ago, Daijun came to play. Here on the banks of the St. John's, Georgia 26-7 lead with a 3rd down and 6 upcoming. Carson back throws. Ladd McConkey's got a 1st down, and he's got more.
Well, we know Ladd McConkey's going to get open. He's just a magician running his routes. Very difficult to cover in one-on-one. What Georgia's hoping for long term is he doesn't tweak that back again.
Yeah.
They need him healthy. After I'm done doing this, I think I would want, the way I've been going, I'd like to be an official in the SEC.
I think you should.
I think I could get yelled at as an official.
I think you could. Yeah, I think you could get booed no matter what you do.
Quarterback Lions, announcer, same thing, right?
1st down at the 44. Daijun Edwards.
Man.
Well, what a show he's putting on. He's dragging Gators with him.
And the show that offensive line is now putting on.
But the schedule that everyone said for Georgia was so easy this year, or supposedly, has turned into anything but, because what they've got in front of them is a Missouri team that's lost only once and is off this weekend. They still have Tennessee left. Right now they're handling business against Florida. Beck going deep, just off the fingertips of Dominic Lovett.
Dominic Lovett did a nice adjustment to the ball here. He was covered, but he read it well. Watch him read the ball and kind of stops and jumps in front of the defender. Would have made a really nice play. Instead of keep running, you got to judge it quickly. He makes the judgment. Could have made the play. That would have been a nice one.
Yep. Bryce Thornton was back there in coverage. Georgia with that offensive, that defensive front shift that we see week in and week out. Some teams don't handle very well. Causes false starts a lot of times. And they're going to have a run blitz here, but Johnson's going to run through it. Get it out to the 20, maybe the 21. Clock moving at 1:35. Send Boardingham, the tight end, in motion. Mertz, deep middle, got it! Down to the 50 to Pearsall.
Well, he had plenty of time to throw. Great throw, better catch.
29-yard pickup. Georgia now the blitz on 1st down. Mertz has to get rid of it in a hurry. Incomplete, intended for Johnson. Jackson, beg your pardon, Khalil Jackson. In the Gator backfield. Georgia almost a one-hand catch by Jackson. Lassiter said, "Nuh-uh."
I'll tell you, Kamari Lassiter is doing a great job to the outside right now. For whatever reason, he is in the hip pocket of these receivers. Hand fighting. I think it's fair game. Both of them are fighting. Would have taken a perfect throw and just outside. Interesting decision. Boy, if you give the ball back to Florida right here.
Georgia, you mean?
Georgia, excuse me.
4th down and 10. Georgia still got 2 timeouts left. There's a whistle.
Yeah, Billy Napier went down there. He's going to talk this one out.
We'll see what Billy Napier's decided on a 4th down and 10 with 58 seconds remaining.
I think he's decided to punt it. I think you just got to trust your football team. You regroup and see if you can score 3 touchdowns in the second half. You can't give them the ball on the 50-yard line.
Crawshaw, remember, had 1 blocked. It turned into a Georgia safety. Georgia's got the safe on.
Yeah, they do. Got their whole defense out there.
Yeah. So Georgia's just going to let this one go, and it's going to be down at the 1-yard line. So good job that time by Crawshaw. He's excited.
Florida will not be able to force a punt by Georgia here. Just don't do it in the end zone.
Don't do it in the end zone. And they got just enough to give Carson Beck a little more knee room. So Georgia will have a more comfortable snap upcoming, and then we'll head it to the locker room where Florida looks to regroup. Georgia looks to keep just doing what they're doing so far.
What looks so promising for Florida, you know, first quarter they had plus 30 yards rushing, you know, and all of a sudden you look up there, 4 sacks, and they got a combined 22 yards, including the sacks rushing now. That offensive line, that was the question mark, right?
Yeah. And it's become a question mark. The sacks, Georgia's offensive line, on the other hand, making holes for Daijun Edwards, giving time to Carson Beck. And the first half of this rivalry comes to a close as Georgia scored 26 points straight after giving up the opening touchdown march to the Gators. And Georgia will get the football first to start the third quarter as well. 6-7 after spotting the Gators 7 points here at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville. They scored 26 unanswered, and they'll get the second half kickoff as well. Georgia leads the all-time series. They've won 5 of the last 6. The last team to beat Georgia in the regular season was Florida 3 years ago right here. But the Gators have got some ground to make up. Trey Smack has got it teed up. Makai Muse and Dylan Bell way back deep for Georgia. Georgia riding a 24-game winning streak and trying to stay atop the polls with the college football rankings coming out on Tuesday. If they keep this up, they should, without a doubt, be #1, but we'll wait and see. Michigan might have something to say about that. Smack knocks it out of the back of the end zone. As we welcome you back to the booth, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jenny Dell down on the field.
3 offensive tackles, a left guard, the tragic death of Willick. I mean, they're just replacing one player after another.
Beck throws a strike across midfield, first down. Dominique Lovett. Stetson Bennett for 2 years and 2 national titles, and that's this guy, Carson Beck. I like the number comparison. It's pretty good.
Remember that, 2020 game when Stetson had that rough game and Kirby put his arm around it?
Yeah.
We talked about what a great job Kirby did of saying he's going to need him again, and boy, it produced 2 national championships. I mean, that was a key moment of coaching by Kirby Smart.
Trying to go for a third, which is unprecedented unless you want to go back to the 30s. And Minnesota on a 3rd down and 4. Beck in the gun, throws quick, had it batted down. And I think it was Jason Marshall got a hand on it, number 3, at their own 6-yard line. Pearsall in motion. Play action, the throws out in the flat. The Borningham, the tight end, and he's got a first down. And then his teammates clean up.
Yeah, the first blitzer is sacrificing himself.
Right.
It's mission.
That's right. Mission team, not you. There's a jet sweep. And Wilson's not going to get anything.
Look at the same play by Tyke Smith, number 23 this time.
Before transferring to Georgia, had some injury problems
Here
since.
it comes. Oh, didn't.
Hurts
4 on 3.
has plenty of time this time.
What a play.
And what a play, knocking the ball away from Pearsall.
It was him. I thought he was going to blitz for sure right there, and he didn't. It's a good thing. I thought they were going to go 3 on 3 and blitz him right there.
The only thing he blitzed on was that pass
Yeah, they
intended
kept
for Pearsall.
2 high free safeties on this play. So everybody knows, remember, you're playing underneath. You can cut under every cut because you know you got 2 safeties behind you. You can gamble, and he makes the play.
That is 2 really good plays back to back by number 23.
And that's knowing where your help is, too. Have 2 safeties behind you you can gamble on the throw.
Down in Tuscaloosa, LSU and Alabama. That is a big next Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Carson back all day to throw. Fires on the run. Love it. Dominic Lovett down the sideline and out of bounds at around the 10.
Great design of a play right here. Play action pass.
And the schedules upcoming for these teams that all control their own destiny. Florida's got to make up some ground fast. Arkansas, LSU, Mizzou. Mizzou, Georgia next week. And then Georgia finishes Ole Miss and Tennessee.
Yeah, they cannot clinch next week. It would be, even if they win, they would clinch the East against Ole Miss.
That one's in Athens. Yep. Carson back. The streak to the corner, knocked away, incomplete, intended for Ra Thomas.
Third down play. Ra Thomas does a nice job. He's not going to get the ball. Jason Marshall with great coverage. So what does he do? He makes sure that no one else does. Rips it out there, tries to get it with one hand, but Marshall in perfect phase.
And that was closer than it looks. Really nice play on the ball by both guys. And that'll bring out Peyton Woodring. He hit earlier from 22. This one will be from 32. The freshman out of a Carson Beck hole. And he's got it up and good. So the big play on that one, a 55-yard pass and run by Lovett. They settle for 3 more and are up 29-7. Move to wide receiver to get more playing time because he's a very good athlete, as his grandpa and dad and uncle all were. Georgia knocks that pass down. Come on, Dumas Johnson.
I saw this early against Utah, but I'm starting to get nightmares about this.
Could you please keep number 10 off?
Yes. That one play that one guy blocks, the other guy makes the play.
Here's Etienne in the open field. His best run. Out across the 40 to the 42.
I thought Warren Brinson had a chance here, but once he did not make the tackle, number 97, I think that's him right there. Watch him come in, swipe, but not even close.
17-yard pickup for Trevor, whose brother plays on this very same field for the Jaguars. And now it's a flea flicker. Mertz has to throw quick, but got it to Pearsall. And it's another Gator first down. Got a little something going here offensively.
What a nice job by Graham Mertz here. How fast. He knows he's under pressure. As soon as he gets the ball, he goes, I got to get rid of this thing. I don't even know if he had the laces on that throw.
Behind Mertz as the Gators have worked it down to the 25-yard line.
Oh, the first time all day.
Yep.
The shift got it. Hayden Hansen.
False start. Offense, number 89. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
They'd only had 2 penalties before that.
Talked to offensive coordinator Rob Sale about this, and he said, we have worked really hard on this. We don't think we'll move, but, you know, when you're up there and those big guys are triggered, sometimes they just move.
Georgia gets everybody with that.
They do.
At the 5-minute mark, Florida trying to cut into the Georgia lead. At the 30-yard line. Little delayed give. Etienne trying to bounce it outside. But that's the speed of the Georgia defense. And Tyke Smith, who's having another great game
really
defensively.
Down a bit, as you see. Play clock.
And we're going to have to hustle. Did they get it away?
He did.
I guess. Quick slant. Wilson again. Ooh, he got drilled by Javon Bullard.
That one was timed out. And this time, Javon Bullard was looking for it. He had help inside on this play. He was going to cover it.
That one hurts.
Yeah, and then Florida's got to go for this.
Ooh, that is a veteran putting it on a freshman.
And a totally clean tackle. He wraps up as well. Just doesn't throw his body. Brings his arms with him.
Tyke Smith shaken up.
Wilson and Pearsall are to the left.
4th down and 3. Low snap. Mertz handles it. Goes out in the flat. Nope. short. Etienne brought down. Dumas Johnson and Dalen Everett.
Yeah, I tell you, this defense has a lot of good players. Okay, we get it. They've been recruiting really well for a lot of years. But they are disciplined and they follow their rules. And look at this tackle in the open field. They
Dumas
do their
Johnson.
job, and Jamon Dumas Johnson right here wraps up. That's a tough tackle. Him one-on-one in the field, needs another 2 yards, and he makes the play.
He was a finalist for the Butkus Award last year, and he's having that kind of season again. So 4th down didn't work out again for the Gators, but they really had no choice at this point. There's only 18 minutes left in the game.
Yeah. Graham Mertz went right all the way. He thought he had him, and remember the other side, both Wilson and Pearsall were. Curious what it looked like on the other side. You're always wrong when you do that.
Of course. And Georgia's going to throw anyway. Love it. And a nice open field tackle right there, and a loss of 2. Jason Marshall with the hit. Lucky, the freshman tight end, switches sides. Back, quick throw, knocked down again. Jason Marshall again.
Just like the hurry up on 4th down play prior, this is going to be another corner cat. Comes off the edge. Nice. Good elevation on that one, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Done that a couple of times now. It's 3rd down at 11. Georgia came in number 2 in the country in 3rd down conversions at 57%.
There's that 7-man look. Last time they bailed out of this. Let's see if they come after him.
Georgia with a trick bunch.
They do.
To the left to Beck. Throws across his body, and he got it to McConkey again. Ladd McConkey. Little shift to the left. Still running. Big gainer for number 84.
So what a great job Carson Beck did. He felt the pressure. He knew they were coming. Watch him buy time by fading to his left. And then he lets it go. And then McConkey again. He just has the ability to find the holes, sharp cuts, doesn't round anything off. And then his yards after a catch. I mean, stop and go, finds the space.
54 yards later.
Injured earlier in the year. And boy, when he's a weapon, imagine if they had 19 in there as a weapon.
Yeah. 6 for 136 for Ladd. Now back to Deshaun Edwards, who's got a 2-touchdown day. And he gets it down to the 15, or just outside the 15. Since Florida picked off Georgia, the last regular season loss for the Dogs 3 years ago down here, here's what's going on for the 2 programs. For Florida, 2 head coaches. For Georgia, 2 national titles. And 40-1 and 25-1.
40-1. Amazing. I think Shamar James is down. He'd given everything he got hurt in warm-ups, and he has played his heart out.
Yep. They're re-wrapping that knee brace. We'll see if he can come back when we come back. Meanwhile, Georgia's got a 3rd down at 4. In the red zone again. Jaden Hill has taken Shamar James' spot at the linebacker position. Georgia needs to get to the 13 to move the sticks here in the final half minute of the 3rd quarter. And the lob to the corner, and it's a touchdown to Dillon Bell. Perfectly thrown ball by Beck. His 2nd touchdown toss of the day.
Well, he picked out exactly who he wanted to go to. Went right at Jalen Kimber, didn't he? Had one-on-one to the outside. It's a quick throw, little play action, but he knew right away he was going outside, and perfectly thrown. Wins this route at the line of scrimmage.
Carson Beck playing at his hometown and playing lights out right now. Graham Mertz took Florida right down the field, if you just joined us, on the opening drive to score a touchdown, and that's all they've put up on the board since. Wilson in motion. They'll keep it on the ground. Montrell Johnson maybe 4 yards out of that, and that should bring the 3rd quarter to a close.
Well, as we said in the open, a lot of memorable plays, but a lot of lopsided games.
Yep. Georgia's won 5 of the last 6, and they're 15 minutes away from making it 6 out of 7. Right now, they're painting things red and black for the Dogs. All all Georgia right now after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive for the Gators. 36 unanswered points. And Florida 2nd down and 7 to open up the 4th. Montrell Johnson blasts his way off the left side. Montrell down the sideline. Biggest gain of the day for him and the Gators. Knocked out of bounds by Kamari Lassiter. Trey Wilson netted them only 3 more. So 2nd down and 7. At the Dogs 21. Mertz sidearms it out to Johnson again. He got a block. Montrell Johnson's got it down. 1st and goal Gators.
Hayden Hanson, good block on that play. Goes out, shoves out the corner.
Johnson behind him in the pistol set. That's Pearsall crossing the field. They fake it to both of them and slings it to the corner to the tight end. Hayden Hanson, touchdown Gators.
I tell you, Georgia was all messed up on this play. Pearsall goes in motion. He goes out there. They don't know if he's going to be a wide receiver. He ends up coming back the other way, but Georgia was confused.
And now the Gators will go for 2. Two for 5 on the year. Wilson, they fake it to him. Mertz had it knocked down. No good. Nazir Stackhouse got a big paw in the way. It's time to finish things with 12.5 minutes to go.
Get the feeling that last touchdown by Florida keeps Carson Beck in the game, doesn't it?
Yep. And Kendall Milton, and he runs out for a 1st down. He's given everything he could give for the last 2.5 years and 2 national titles. And a Mackey Award as the tight end best in the nation. Another good run this time by Kendall Milton.
Good football players on that line.
That is Delp in motion. And they're going to throw it to him. Delp right on cue almost. He even runs a little bit like Brock Bowers. Play fake. Beck loads, fires again. A strike.
Man.
Down to the 22-yard line. C.J. Smith this time.
Yep, and I tell you, this quick release, we talk about Carson Beck, all the good things he does. But watch how quickly, when he sees the receiver here, he can deliver the football. Bang, it's gone. That is the way you do it. When you can quarterback, he can feel that pass rush coming on.
1st down at the 22. Dejon Edwards.
Amazing.
Down to the 6.
Some guys can just feel the game of football. I said it last time we did one of their football games. It's not just his vision. It's not his footwork. It's everything. He just understands football, where the pursuit is coming, how to be patient, how to set up his blocks. Really, really comfortable runner.
First couple of weeks of the season, they really didn't have him. And then he came back in the South Carolina game we did. We said, well, this should make a difference in the Georgia ground game. It has ever since. That 40-point mark. Never beaten Florida by 20+ in 3 straight seasons. They're on the verge of that. They came in number 7 in the country in scoring at 40.1 a game. And they look like they're going to keep pace if they keep this drive going. Using some clock here as Carson Beck keeps them in the huddle.
Just a note, Monroe Freeling is number 57, is in at right tackle this whole drive, giving Xavier Truss a blow.
2nd and goal. Milton driving. He's really close, but not in. The best, as Gary said, right there. 3rd down and goal. Kendall Milton bounces backward in. Touchdown, Georgia. Kendall Milton for the score, his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
You know, Florida's scheduled in front of them. You know, they're LSU. They've got Florida State yet. You know, Missouri now. That looked like a game. Oh, big deal, Missouri. But now at deal. Missouri, you know, that's going to be a tough one. The Gators 6-7 the last 2 years. And they need a couple victories. They got to get bowl eligible yet.
Mertz looks right, comes back to the left on the side-on throw to Pearsall. Pearsall, good speed down the sideline and lays a lick at the end of it in front of the Georgia bench. And one having great success with 2 national titles and one trying to rebuild the Florida program. There's a good throw and catch and nice move by Frazier's and a flag down.
A lot of people coaching in this league that passed through Alabama.
Exactly. Here's a couple of them on that team picture. Billy up in the top right, Kirby down lower side, and the Constance, a guy in the middle who we'll see next week against LSU in Tuscaloosa.
Should be a fun one, that LSU offense.
Little night game at Bryant Denny next week. Still to come on the U.S. Army postgame show. Adam, Rick, and BJ will put a bow on this one and bring you the day's best highlights, including a Kansas upset of Oklahoma. And Oregon-Utah game was big. I lost track of how that one is, but
I was just about ready to say, put one of my notes towards the end of the game if we had something to talk about is, remember, Georgia and Oklahoma were scheduled to play each other, and by not playing each other, they both are undefeated. That's
gone. Now they'll play each other in years to come. Mertz, nice throw, and Ricky Pearsall cartwheels inside the 5, 1st and goal Gators.
David Daniel Sisavon, that time number 14, comes up. Nice again. I see Mertz, the ability he has. I mean, he can just rip that ball off from a lot of different positions, and David Sisavon comes up and makes another. We've seen some good tackling in this game.
No doubt. Pearsall gets it to the 5-yard line. Wilson in motion. They fake it to him. They go straight ahead to the other freshman. And did he get there?
They called it in.
Touchdown. Here we go.
After review, the runner did not break the plane of the goal line. Therefore, the ball be placed inside the 1-yard line. It's 2nd down at that spot.
I wish people could see the look on your face.
Oh, I was just, you know what I was really thinking in my head is, what if he came out and said, close enough? That's what I was thinking.
Well, here we go. We got a minute 35 to go. It's 2nd down and goal. I hope they give it.
Yes,
Trayon Webb, please. Please leave the kid in the game. There's some spooky things going on here in Jacksonville. All right. And another bad spot, even if he didn't get in. Should be about 6 inches closer. All right, Trayon. Or Mertz. Or Trayon pushing Mertz. Touchdown.
Spun him in.
So the guy that maybe should have gotten it gets the push on his quarterback that does get it.
Right now, Billy Napier's going, wish I'd have run that play earlier in the game. Right?
Yeah, no kidding. So now we officially have it as a 75-yard drive in 12 plays. And we're going to see Brock Vandagriff in at quarterback here in final minute 20. Take over for Carson Beck. And won't have to do much except that. But he is taking a couple of snaps here in this rivalry game. Carson Beck, the Jacksonville native, who played his high school ball 18 miles from here, has helped Georgia put up the most points against Florida since the early 80s.
Man, oh man, amazing.
And the contribution of all the guys that we talked about in the open 3.5 hours ago to make up for Brock Bowers being injured, and almost every one of them that we mentioned came through in a big time way, including McConkey, who's right behind him. Some big catches for Ladd today. Dejon Edwards, 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that we found from this game. Carson Beck is not the weak point of this football team at all.
Absolutely not. And you can see the smile, feeling pretty good about being in his hometown. And Billy Napier's team falls to 5-3, 3-2 in the conference. Georgia still unblemished at 8-0 and 5-0 in the SEC. So Georgia joins that list that we talked about, Liberty and Michigan, with an 8-0 start and 25 straight.